Yo, what's up? This is your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. And today I want to talk about my top candidates for the potential opening of the New Orleans Saints head coaching job. As many of you already know, they fired Dennis Allen a few weeks ago and inserted Dan Rizzi into the interim role. And right now, he's doing pretty good so far. 2-0 in the season. But, is that it? Is he the right guy to lead this team into the next era of potentially great Saints football? Is he the guy? Should this team just stay within house and keep Derek Rizzi if he continues to win games like this? We'll see. I've said this in the previous video that the Rams game is a huge measuring stick for me that should play a part in Darren Rizzi getting the job or not, because these are the type of teams the Saints need to be beating. They're not, the Rams are not what they once were a few years ago, but they're still a good football team. They're right in the hunt for a playoff berth, also NFC West berth. Can you beat that type of team? Can the Saints beat teams that they're not expected to beat? With the last few remaining games of the season. But anyways, man, if they decide to go outside of the Sean Payton coaching tree, bring somebody in that's new to the team, has no ties to the organization. Well, one of these guys will, but somebody that's coming from a different organization that has success. Here's my options, man. Of course, obviously Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is pretty much number one on a lot of people's list to become Saints head coach. You just cannot ignore what he's done with the Detroit Lions for the past 3 seasons. Lions offense has steadily trend up over the years with Dan Campbell as the head coach. The quarterback that he has right now, Jared Goff, is just been a huge benefactor of working with Ben Johnson. Let's be real. He goes from Sean McVay in Los Angeles to Ben Johnson, and the guy, he's to me Jared Goff is playing like an entirely different quarterback compared to what we saw with the Rams. So I mean, if we stick with Carr, I can imagine him doing the same with Brendan Johnson working with Derek Carr. That's if they decide to keep this thing going with Carr in the center at quarterback. So Ben Johnson would be my guy. You know, Second would be Liam Cohen. Liam Cohen right now, young guy similar to Ben Johnson, young guy working with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe from what I've read is that Liam Cohen was a guy that Dennis Allen was trying to pursue when he first became the head coach of the New Orleans Saints back in 2022. But it fell through. I think Liam Cohen, he has college ties and um, ties with Sean McVay, and the Bucks offense does really well. It's playing really well, and I think some of y'all look at it as well, and a lot of people felt as though the narrative was being painted that Baker would take like a step back because Dave Canales, who was the offensive coordinator at the time, took the Carolina Panthers job, and they thought Baker would regress with a new OC, but Liam Cohen comes in and Baker looks like he's better than what he was last season. You know, Tampa Bay's offensive rank second in success rate 52.3. Bucks rank 15 in earnings, 15 rate fifth in EPA 0.09. So good offense, man. But I got Liam Cohen's on my list. Another name right here. You don't. He's not getting the attention of the other big names around the NFL when it comes to head coaching jobs openings. But a guy to look at, in my opinion, should be Aubrey Pleasant, man. Aubrey Pleasant, which is now he's promoted to a Rams assistant head coach and the passing game coordinator. So I think we should always look at those guys, always have interest in those guys that come from the Sean McVay tree, because based on what I'm seeing, a lot of those guys are having success right now. You know, the guy in Minnesota, Kevin Connors, looks pretty successful. A few others that have been around the league. So I wouldn't have an issue with going after a guy like Aubrey Pleasant, young guy, comes from the Sean McVay tree, and he'll probably bring something different to the team, a different voice. You know, um, who else is on this list? Wes Phillips, Minnesota's offensive coordinator. Since Kevin O'Connell's gotten there, the team is pretty good. Has gotten really good, man. Even last year when they lost their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota, put up a fight to get into the playoffs. They didn't get there, unfortunately, but it was a really good team. Had a really good they did a really good job with Joshua Dobbs as quarterback. Minnesota's offense this year, pretty stable, pretty formidable in the league. So Wes Phillips, we've got a choice on the offensive side. So to recap it, for the offensive minded guys that I have interest in, I got Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Aubrey Pleasant, Wes Phillips. Defensive minded, I'm going Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel resume is one of the best in the league right now. I'm hearing a lot of some rumors that Vrabel's not interested in the job, but we'll see when after the season, when everything is over and done with. When the season is over, we'll see if those rumors are actually true. But Mike Vrabel's on top of my list because of what he did in Tennessee. We saw how good that team was when he had, his best players out there, AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, that Jeffrey Simmons. That was a really good football team. Tennessee Titans for a 3 year window was one of the best teams in the NFC. You know what I'm saying? One of the best teams in not the NFC, the AFC at the time. And I think they won the AFC South 3 straight years, and also had home field advantage for at least like 2 years straight. So what Brian Vrabel brings to the table for the New Orleans Saints. What brings to the table for the New Orleans Saints? You know that. Aaron Glenn, a Peyton disciple. I know that a lot of people don't would prefer not that the Saints go back into the Sean Payton tree or the Dennis Allen, no, not Dennis Allen tree, but the defensive minded route for the next head coach. But I don't think there's no indication out there that showing me that Aaron Glenn is going to be another Dennis Allen. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it in Aaron Glenn. But that Lions defense is doing really good, man. There's some if you can look it up, go to Google, type in Aaron Glenn, type in what the Detroit Lions are doing on defense under Aaron Glenn. There's some really good metrics out there, some really good stats on what Aaron Glenn and that defense is doing under his watch. And also he lost Aiden Hutchinson, and then lost like few weeks after that, lost Alex Anzalone, and the defense hasn't missed a beat. They've been playing lights out under Aaron Glenn. So that's a name I would seriously consider. You know, Brian Flores, another good name out there. I think who should have been, in my opinion, should have been a guy um, that the Saints went after the first time when it was looking to hire a new head coach, but decided not to, and he got Dennis Allen. But Brian Flores, brings a lot to the table as well. You see what he's doing in Minnesota, kind of having that same type of effect as an Aaron Glenn. Defensive ratings are very high up there with the personnel that he's working with, and with the Saints, I'm pretty sure he would do the same. You know, now the issue with a lot of with these defensive minded guys is who are they going to find that? Well, I think everybody, all of them would probably take Derek Carr at quarterback right for right now. What would be the plan be? What would the plan be for the future? Who would run the offense? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Aaron Glenn probably is going to take somebody from that Detroit Lions coaching staff to run this offense. I don't think he's going to try to go find somebody that can implement the Sean Payne system once again. I don't think he's going to do that. You know, I would also prefer, if possible, if they continue to play this way, that Clint Kubiak, if they can, that's if they continue to play this well, the offense, that you retain Clint Kubiak to be the offensive coordinator. You know, and also if the offense continues to shine the way they've been over these last couple of weeks, you may have to consider Clint Kubiak as a name that should be taken seriously consideration to become the new Saints head coach. You know, and if we want to stay in house, I'm gonna go with Dan Rizzi. Dan Rizzi, resume speaks for itself. The small sample size that we got, the team is very, you know, has become a lot more playing with a lot more confidence compared to a couple of weeks ago under Derek Dennis Allen. Darren Rizzi has, changed a lot with the team, I think, in regards to how they practice. The locker rooms, he changed that up as well. There's a lot of things that the team is just doing different right now. I just see a team that's playing with a lot of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And you can call it an interim bump. It's fine, but you can't ignore how this team is playing. And if the Saints, I think, like I said, my benchmark for Darren Rizzi is 8 wins, eight to 9 wins. Man, you don't have to necessarily get to the playoffs, but if you get this team to 8 to 9 wins, given how bad things were um, a few weeks ago, I think that's a huge accomplishment. You know, so those are my guys right there. Now, in regards to the college route, I would prefer a guy like a Dan Lanning, and I wrote right here because he reminds me of Dan Campbell. Very aggressive guy, young coach. Um, got Oregon competing for national championship right now. I mean, to be honest, they've been competing for national championships the past 2 years under Dan Lanning. He has that same familiar style of a Dan Campbell. Always aggressive, goes for it on forward down. Really good defense. Player with a lot of physicality. Not passive or anything like that with play calling. Just an aggressive operation from start to finish. Kind of similar to what Sean Payton ran when he was with the Saints. So that's how I see it. Also, I like Matt Campbell out of Iowa State. Right now, he has that program competing for potentially getting us a spot into the college football playoffs, but we'll see how it all play out. But Matt Campbell's name has came up for a while. Like a few years ago, he was like a hot name that could possibly come to the NFL. That didn't happen though, but he's worked with Brock Purdy in the past. That was his quarterback, and that team, Brock Purdy was pretty efficient under him. You know, but Matt, those are my college options. If we had to go the college route, Matt Campbell out of Iowa State, Dan Campbell, well, Dan Lanning out of Oregon. If we take somebody from within, from in-house, Darren Rizzi. Defensive route, my choices are Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn, Mike Vrabel. Offensive minded, Wes Phillips, Vikings OC, Aubrey Pleasant, Rams assistant head coach and passing game coordinator, Liam Cohen, Buccaneers OC, Ben Johnson, Lions OC. So those are my options right there. My choices, my preferred choices to become the next Saints head coach if they decide not to remove the interim label from Darren Rizzi. Now, from this list, which of these choices feel like a realistic possibility? To be honest with you, I would think it would be between. I think Aaron Glenn has a realistic shot to become head coach of the New Orleans Saints, and I think Darren Rizzi. Those two names on the list are the realistic options, in my opinion. That's gonna get serious consideration to get this job with the Saints. So we'll see how it all play out. In total, I have 7 names from the NFL level, professional level, and well, it's really 8 names and 2 names from college. So we'll see how it all play out real soon. Once season is over, we'll find out what direction the Saints eventually go in regards to hiring a new head coach. So we'll see. All right, so that's for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to that channel. Let me know how you feel. What are your choices, your preferred candidates for the new Saints head coach? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints for latest content on the Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. Who that?